Hi guys, welcome along to this presentation about supplementation. It's Liam here, of course, and I just want to show you how I've recently started supplementing, and it kind of makes sense when I'm going to go through the process to actually supplement in a systematic way rather than just grabbing a load of supplements and starting taking them off the cuff. Now, if you're new to clean eating and you're new to supplementing, then this should hopefully answer a lot of your questions, but it'll also make sure that you're following the way in which I prefer you to actually follow your supplementation plan. It also keeps it really simple. So I know obviously if you don't research into things and you're not a geek like me and you kind of look into supplements every day, then you're going to be a bit confused as to when to take stuff and what to take. So hopefully, like I say, this will clear up any of your questions or queries. Okay, so what is systematic supplementation? Basically, it's something that I've actually made up to a degree. So the name I've actually just given it myself because it's a way of systematically increasing, decreasing, and essentially weaning you on and off supplements. Okay. The reason I started supplementing like this recently was because back in December I was on a course with arguably the country's leading personal trainer, if not probably the world's leading personal trainer down in London, and we were talking about supplements, and I mentioned that some of my clients and campers get kind of adverse effects when they start taking supplements, things like sickness and upset stomachs and stuff. So when I was speaking to Dax Moy about it, he basically said that all supplements should be basically loaded into your body. Okay, because if you imagine, for example, if we take magnesium, as everyone's deficient in magnesium anyway, unless we supplement due to the poor quality of our food. If your body's running on about 400 milligrams of magnesium, yet for whatever you're doing it needs 700, if you just start supplementing a massive 300-400 milligrams just off the cuff, then your body may actually think that there's something wrong because there's a sudden influx of magnesium, and that can kind of have a knock-on effect to things like calcium, which works with magnesium for absorption, and your body may try and increase the calcium levels systemically in your body by drawing it from bone, which obviously we don't want because we want to keep them nice and strong. So doing this method of supplementing makes more sense, but it also makes sure that your body doesn't reject anything. Okay, so that's basically what it is. So the why behind it, like I say, is to prevent any adverse effect that you have. Some of you may have experienced like sickness or hunger feeling and sort of achy stomachs, particularly in the morning when you take supplements without any food. It's easy to know if too much is reached, because if you do start to get symptoms after you've sort of reached your threshold or your upper limit, then for example, if you take magnesium, which is such an important supplement, if you take too much, then your stools and your motions will start to get a lot loose. So then for yourself you would know to drop down the dosage. I mean, this is obviously stuff that you can discuss with me in person during camp and stuff. It's easy and it's reproducible process, so no matter how many supplements you're taking, you can just basically repeat the same process over and over again, which I'm sure you'll agree sometimes when we've got 4 or 5 different supplements to take, we don't know our arse from our elbow basically. So we want something that's easy, that's simple, and something that we can just reproduce all of the time. It prevents confusion which to take when, because you'll only start off with one supplement and then we'll bring others in as time goes by so you don't get confused. And I just want to point out really that supplements are meal supplements and they're not meal replacements. So just because you drink your greens drink every day doesn't mean you can't eat veg. Okay, so it's important to have times where we don't supplement, and it's important to have times where we do supplement. So having loading phases, on-off periods works really well. Okay, so we can't depend on supplements instead of meals. Okay, they are there to supplement and increase our nutrient levels up to what they should be. So that's the why. So for example, just to give you an example of how and why the sort of rationale behind this and why I want you to start supplementing this way is, if we just take this little diagram here, just pretend for a moment that these test tubes filled with liquid are representative of nutrient levels in your body, and obviously you can see we've got our different vitamins and some minerals there. And if, for example, zinc was just over halfway, and let's say that was 150 milligrams of zinc, and to be at optimum levels of zinc, your body needed another 150. Okay, but you've only been running on 150 because you haven't been supplementing and you haven't been eating much zinc-rich food. So if you give it loads of zinc, if you just started supplementing and hammering the zinc, then this kind of effect may occur within your body. So the kind of too much water in the tube effect. So your body might start and think, well, why on earth have I just suddenly took an influx of 60 milligrams of zinc every day, etc., when I've never needed this before? Obviously, you always need the increase in the supplement because we're so deficient. But if you just hit your body with it, then it might think, bloody hell, what's going on here? And it could have a knock-on effect to some of the related minerals. So it's important not to just overload it, and we don't want to give it too much. Hence, some of the symptoms may occur. One of the most common ones is people feeling sick off a multivit on a morning. And again, I mean, this is kind of new research that I'm looking to at the moment, so I can't give you definites about everything. But with multivitamins, if you think they've got pretty much all of our minerals and vitamins in there, if you didn't have them, then all of a sudden you had them, especially if you took sort of 2 or 3 different multivit tablets, then again your body might think, well, I've never had these before, why have I got so much now? So it's basically about getting the balance right and not giving your body too much of a good thing all at once. So how does it work in practice, and how does it prevent the too much and the side effects? This is how I would like you to start supplementing. It's really easy. If we did 4 supplements, it would last you 30 days, okay? So, I mean, generally I would prefer if you went over a 30-day period or 28-day period or whatever works, but sort of 28 to 30 days is a good time to be supplementing before we take sort of 5 to 7 days off. So what you do for the first 15 days is you pick one supplement. You start with that supplement for 3 days. You start with that exact dosage, relatively small amount. So if we choose magnesium again, as it's so important, if we start off with 150 milligrams of magnesium, then what we would do is we'd do 3 days of 150 milligrams. On the third day, on the fourth day, we would then increase the dosage, so maybe double it to 300, and then we would add your next supplement. So if that was fish oil, you would add the next one, okay? So if you're on a 30-day program with 4 supplements, which just usually works best over, then every 3 days you just simply increase the dosage of the one you're already taken, and then you add the next one, okay? Once you get to day 15, you start the come down, if you like, and the weaning off process. From day 16 to 30, you do exact opposite. So every 3 days you decrease the dosage and you remove one supplement. In practice, this is what it looks like. Day 1 to 15. We started off with magnesium. You see we've got 150 milligrams for 3 days. Hit day 4, we bump it up to 300. We start with 5 milliliters of fish oil, which is about a teaspoonful. Day 7, we go with mag, fish oil and zinc. So we do 450, 10 and 15. Day 10, we add greens drink. 1 servings of greens. Greens isn't such a supplement in the sense that you get many side effects from, okay, but it is still worth loading up on it, obviously, because the nutrients and the greens that you get in the drinks will have quite a lot of minerals and stuff in there, so just to be careful with those. And when you get to day 15, you have the last 3 days on your highest strength. 600 magnesium is about right, so 400 to 600 is kind of what you're looking for. 2 teaspoons of fish oil. You can take much more than that if you wish, but we'll talk about that another time. 45 milligrams of zinc, which if you're training really hard is essential. If you're not, 15 to 30 is fine, and 2 servings of greens morning and night is perfectly fine. So that's just an example. I mean, you can use any supplements, of course, but that's just an example of how the first 15 days work. And the reverse, start day 16 and you just do the exact opposite. So you basically continue. You have about 6 days where you're on full strength supplements, and then you start and bring it down back to the magnesium, then you finish. Now at day 30, I'm still deciding whether to take 5 days off for 7 days, or even less, but like I say, this is stuff that I'll talk about in session, and then we'll take like a period off, maybe it's a week, and then we'll start up again. But what you'll probably agree with me on is that it's much easier, because we start off with 1, we load up and up and up and up, hit the full strength for about 6 days, then we drop it back down. So really, I've been doing this since just after Christmas, and sort of forgetting to take supplements, it doesn't really happen, so keeps you right on top of them. And the recommended supplements that I would go for, Solgar do a really good magnesium citrate. We don't want anything that has magnesium oxide in, because that is harmful to the body. You want something that ends in 8, so magnesium citrate, stearate for example. So anything that ends in ATE you will want, but double check if you're using Holland and Barrett, which are notoriously rubbish for supplements, some of them anyway, that doesn't have magnesium oxide in. Magnesium is best taken on an evening because the uptake of magnesium is better physiologically. So I'm not sure whether that's your body knowing that when you go to sleep you're going to start repairing, of which magnesium is essential for, but taking your magnesium sort of an hour or two before bed, basically your uptake will be better than it would in the morning. Magnesium also has a mild sort of sedatory effect as well, so it helps you sleep as well. But again, if you're getting too sleepy and you're only taking magnesium, then you might be taking too much. If your stools are loose, then again you might be taking too much. If you're still getting quite a bit soreness, like DOMS and aches and pains, then you may not be taking enough, because it's great for repair and regrowth. So stuff to look out for. Next one is your fish oil, which is arguably the best fish oil on the market, and it's by a company called Element Nutrition. I'm going to put links under this video in our secret group on the members only website, fcinsider.com, and I'll give you links to all of these. But Element's got really high potent levels of EPA and DHA, which are two acids found in omega-3 that are essential for brain development, memory, loads of different cognitive and neurological functions. So really, fish oil is essential. Also aids in fat loss as well. So if there was 3 supplements I would choose, it would be these 3. And if you're not taking enough fish oil, you may get like flaky scalp and stuff, and dandruff and dry skin and stuff, so can be a sign. So if you're only taking fish oil and you get any of them symptoms, then you may need to increase your dose. Okay. Everything has a reason, remember. Next one is your greens drink. With greens drink, personally, I don't see any difference between spending 40 quid on one or spending 20 quid on one. So that's the one I personally use. These are supplements I personally use. And Udo's Choice Beyond Greens is about 20 quid, and it's great. It's pretty much got everything in, and it's not too badly tasting. But you can use sort of wheatgrass for my protein and stuff if you wish. And that's it. So that's pretty much the recommended supplements. That is systematic supplementation. Really easy, really straightforward, and basically I'll prefer it if you were supplementing that way. If you're concerned about taking supplements, or if you want more information about how much, when, where, and sort of what times of day and stuff like that to take them, then obviously just give me a shout. But I hope that was informative, and start following it as soon as you can. Thank you. Bye bye.